When I thought about the Dean's Honor Scholarship, the idea of a box appealed to me. I thought about the symbolism of being trapped inside a box. I think one of the biggest ways you can feel trapped inside a closed minded intellectual space is when there is a lack of diversity. Being around people of different backgrounds is how we learn to accept and appreciate everyone we come into contact with. Without it, the world seems colorless and empty, like the white box on the page. To explore diversity and its effects, I first interviewed my great-grandfather, who experienced both a segregated school in the 1930s and an integrated school, and as an adult, fought for diversity on the school board of Topeka, Kansas, home of the historic Brown versus the Board of Education case that opened the door for diversity in schools. I then talked to my friends and fellow students at my high school, which is very diverse, to get a modern take on the importance of diversity and how they benefit from it. These are their stories. Diversity in education wasn't always the norm. In fact, it was not until the landmark decision of Brown versus the Topeka Board of Education in 1954 that segregation of public schools was banned. My great-grandfather, Joe Douglas Jr., attended Monroe Elementary School, the segregated school at issue in the Brown case. Despite having been a civil rights advocate for all his adult life, having seen firsthand the damage that segregation can cause to the psyche of young children, my great-grandfather was named as a defendant when the Brown case was reopened in 1979 because of his role as president of the Topeka School Board at that time. We continue to struggle with issues of integration and diversity today. So what is the detriment of living inside a box of racial divides? And what are the benefits when we break out of it? And so, finally now, in 2015, what do you think that the benefits are for students like me and my friends who go to a really diverse school of having so many different cultures represented, and what do you think we gain from that experience?
Well, I think the first thing is you're on an equal playing field now. And by that, I don't mean that you have exactly the same opportunities. But what I do mean is you have the opportunity to show what you learn, and you can excel. Where when we were going to an all-black school, I could excel to what I was spelling and reading, but it didn't mean anything in the overall picture. It just didn't. It was, oh well, at your level, and you're black, so it probably isn't as good as what the other kids are doing. So you have to understand that producing the same quality of whatever it was, it never was going to be the same as what the white students did. You know, it was, because I started the school reading. Of course, I was going to all black school then, but it just, there was just not a way that you could really excel and be recognized. You couldn't do that. Well, you could do very well, you know, but it was, well, there were just limitations on you and on the way they saw your work, and they couldn't take it away from you, but they didn't always give you everything you should have had. I'll put it that way. That's about the best I can do.
Because you get to meet new people and see their different perspectives.
I really appreciate being able to learn about a lot of people's different cultures, because it's really helped me identify with my cultural identity, and it's really helped me learn what it means to be an American Indian.
I think diversity is important in education because when you have a group of diverse people in the room, everybody has different viewpoints, and when people speak from different viewpoints, the discussion isn't so, like tunnel visioned or closed-minded, and it gives like more opportunities to like discover greater things.
I think diversity in education is important because I think it's nice when you have people from different cultures and different communities and different countries. It's nice to see their thinking and their perspective on different things within education while you're learning. And so I think it's nice to have a diverse environment, classroom environment.
Diversity, I think diversity is really important because it teaches you so much about life and so much about other people, and you get to really walk in the shoes of like your friends and your family members and things like that. And that is why Baton Rouge High has been such a big thing for me. It's because I've met so many people from different areas of life, and they've taught me so much about myself and so much about their culture that it just like brings you together and makes you who you are.
I think racial diversity is important because it helps people understand other cultures and understand where people come from.
I value diversity because the world is full of many different nationalities, and it's nice to be able to experience many different cultures, especially at this school.
Being surrounded by people of different cultures has made me more politically aware of global conflicts.
I think diversity in education is so important because people who are used to diverse environments are more accepting of others, and they are able to, explore and be more prepared in the world.
Lately, it seems like we can't turn on the news without seeing an act of violence spurred by lack of understanding between religious, cultural, or racial groups. It's important to remember that in the past, present, and future, diversity helps to establish links between us and promote love and understanding. When we spend time around people from different backgrounds, we cut the ties of ignorance and hatred. Instead of being closed inside an empty white box, we all have the opportunity to exist in a colorful world that's full of possibility for all.